Wait, you gotta hear this. Why is it that so many dude bros all over the place are all of a sudden so triggered by the presence of male cheerleaders in the NFL? Hey, what's going on, everybody? What is good, everyone? What is good, my good people? What's good on the internet? What's good in life? What's good in sports? The name is Akeem Balaam. I know it's been a while once again since I've been on here, but just handling some obviously off YouTube business, aka life be lifing. But once again, hopefully everybody is doing well out there, and hopefully life is indeed giving you all of the good and none of the bad. So, for some people, life is indeed giving them all of the good and none of the bad, but sometimes people just need something to complain about. They just need something to complain about because they feel as if, oh, if I don't have anything to complain about, there must be something going on in my life. My life must be boring. And apparently, there are dudes out here, quote unquote NFL fans, that are so triggered by the idea of NFL teams having male cheerleaders on the sidelines. So there's been all this discourse as of late regarding male cheerleaders. I think that one of the news items that I noticed is that I think that the New Orleans Saints this year are supposed to have 11 or 12 male cheerleaders. I think that they're supposed to be a record, 19 cheerleaders who happen to be men on the Baltimore Ravens this year. And not only that, but if I remember correctly, I remember seeing something not too long ago about the presence, I believe, of male cheerleaders, I think on the Minnesota Vikings. And somebody, I forgot the outlet that it was, but there was even a report that was out there that even suggested the idea that there were Minnesota Vikings fans, there were a few Minnesota Viking fans that were actually even toying with the idea of canceling their season tickets to the Vikings this year, all because they decided to have male cheerleaders. And, and I just cannot believe, how folks are trying to make this into a big deal. I mean, what is the big stink about male cheerleaders, where it's one of those situations where it's like, oh, all of a sudden I'm so triggered by the idea of seeing male cheerleaders among a bunch of women on the sidelines. Like, really? Oh my goodness. Folks are calling the NFL woke. Let me tell you something. The NFL is far from woke. You look at, who some of these owners have donated to in the past, and you see exactly that they are far from woke. But it is so amazing to me that this has been the thing that has caused such a freak out. I mean, just the fact that you have some Vikings fans that are talking about canceling their season tickets because, oh my God, male cheerleaders, oh my God, the sky is falling, the world is coming to an end, a giant meteor is gonna hit the earth, all because the Minnesota Vikings decided to have male cheerleaders. Like, honestly, that is the collective freak out that is going on social media among some of these manosphere dude bros. It's really sad, but at the same time, it's also kind of funny, because my thing is this: if all that it took was your favorite team going ahead and deciding, okay, we're going to have male cheerleaders as part of our cheer squad this year, if that's all that it took, then if that's all that it took for you to cancel your season tickets, then what it tells me is that you probably wasn't a fan in the first place. I mean, it should take a heck of a lot. I could understand multiple losing seasons. I can understand if maybe you don't necessarily agree with the owner's politics. Male cheerleaders, and you're canceling your season tickets. Oh my gosh, as much as the Minnesota Vikings are worth, I am pretty sure they are, oh my gosh, just completely panicked about a fraction of their fan base going ahead, a small fraction of their fan base going ahead and canceling their season tickets, all because of male cheerleaders. And my thing is this. It is so amazing, like I said, the collective freak out about this. Like, first of all, high school teams have male cheerleaders. College teams have male cheerleaders. So why can't NFL teams? Unless, and here's where we get to the nitty gritty of this whole conversation about the male cheerleaders. All of yous out there, all of you losers in the manosphere that are so triggered by this idea of male cheerleaders, you really don't want cheerleaders. What you really want are models. That's really what you want, honestly. So that's really where a lot of this goes back to. And then what's really sad about all of this renewed discourse about men and cheerleading is the fact that it is so amazing that this is something that's causing more of a discourse than what was actually going on with these NFL teams and how they were treating their cheerleaders before they started modernizing their squads and before cheerleaders before cheerleading squads decided, okay, we actually want to be fairly compensated. Like, these NFL teams are worth billions. The NFL is a billion-dollar business, and here they are going ahead paying cheerleaders to pretty much dance on the sidelines and close to nothing, do these freaking swimsuit issues, not to mention all of the other appearances that they were doing for such a long time. So many of them were also doing military appearances as well as other community events. It is so amazing that this was something that they were doing, but there are so many YouTube videos and there are so many documentaries that have been released on the dark side of NFL cheerleading before some of these teams actually started standing up, and before some of these teams actually said, okay, we want to be fairly compensated. I mean, like, look at Dan Snyder. Look at everything that Dan Snyder was doing with Washington's cheerleaders. I'm not going to say the name of their former name of their team because it's obviously racist. But look at Dan Snyder and everything that was going on in Washington. I mean, like, does anybody remember that report about how Dan Snyder actually wanted the Washington cheerleaders to be personal escorts for him and his rich male friends? I mean, like, if we're going to be outraged over something, we should be outraged over that. We should be outraged over the fact that so many of these women on these cheerleading teams were getting meagerly paid. But all of a sudden, a few NFL teams decided, okay, they actually want to get with the times and add male cheerleaders. And by the way, this isn't just a newfound thing where they just decided to have male cheerleaders. Some of them have been having male cheerleaders for a pretty good bit of time now. It's just one of those situations where now it's getting more attention. In fact, I believe the Carolina Panthers on their cheerleading team, they actually have somebody who is transgender on their cheerleading team. So it is so amazing to me that all of this is causing such a collective freak out, when really it's one of those situations where things like that should have caused freakouts, like I was saying earlier with the over sexualization and the low pay. That's the stuff that we should be outraged about. But really and truly, we know what's really going on here. A lot of the same folks that are complaining about this, they weren't complaining about all the other stuff and all the other shady, shiesty stuff that was going on with some of these cheerleading teams, because really and truly, so many of these manosphered up dudes actually wish that they could go back to that. That's the problem here. That's the big problem. So I just wanted to come on here and I wanted to mention a bit about it because it is so amazing to me that this is something that some dudes on here and some dudes on social media are actually getting all hopped up about. Like, of all things to get hopped up about, male cheerleaders. I mean, like, the sky is falling all because a few NFL teams are actually advertising the fact that they have male cheerleaders on their teams. So it is just amazing to me, what is something that's out here that's just causing all of this collective freak out. It is much ado about Nothing. What is the big deal about male cheerleaders? Somebody explain it to me, and somebody explain it to me in actual smart language. Rate, comment, react, reply, add, and subscribe. Once again, I'm just, one guy on here just trying to set the record straight. So until next time, I'm Akeem signing off. See you on the internet someplace.